Hello students, today we will discuss the calculation of Vant factor. We all know that Vant factor calculation is very important topic of colligative properties. When we study any electrolytes colligative property, then we have to apply the Vant factor in the formulas of colligative properties. For example, suppose we are calculating elevation in boiling point, then the formula of elevation in boiling point become delta Tb is equal to I into Kb into M. Now what is the I? I is equal to Vant factor. And if we are applying the formula for depression in freezing point, then our formula become delta Tf is equal to I into Kf into M. And if we are talking about osmotic pressure, then our formula is like pi is equal to CRT. C means concentration, R solution constant, T temperature, and it should be multiplied by I. Now what is the I here? I is Vant factor. So especially when we are talking about non-electrolytes like glucose, urea, etc., then the Vant factor means I is equal to 1. So for non-electrolyte, I is equal to 1. What are the example of non-electrolytes? Like urea, glucose, sucrose, fructose, etc. Any substance which does not ionize is non-electrolyte. So for non-electrolyte, always Vant factor is 1. So if we are talking about electrolyte, then how we can decide what is the Vant factor? So I am giving you a very simple formula, very simple trick by which you can calculate Vant factor in a very simplest way. So electrolyte can be of two types. Electrolyte can be of two types. First one is strong electrolyte. And second one is weak electrolyte. Now what is the strong electrolyte? Strong electrolyte is the substance which is 100% ionized. Strong electrolyte is the substance which is 100% ionized. Means that is 100% ionized. Or its degree of dissociation is equal to 1. But when we are talking about weak electrolyte, then weak electrolyte are that electrolyte which are less than 100% ionized. Means ionization of weak electrolyte is less than 100%. It may be 90%, 80%, 70%, 95%. Anything can be, but it is never 100% never 100% ionized. So weak electrolyte are that electrolyte which are less than 100% ionized. So there is a difference between strong electrolyte and weak electrolyte. Now our question is how we can find out the Vant factor for strong electrolytes and weak electrolyte. It's very simple. We can find out Vant factor for strong electrolyte. It's very simple trick. You have to see, you have to observe that strong electrolyte is ionized in how many particles. For example, if I am talking about NaCl, and NaCl always ionized in Na plus Cl minus. So 1 mole of NaCl give 1 mole of Na plus and 1 mole of Cl minus ion means total how many moles of particles are generated? That is 2. Clear? So Vant factor for NaCl is equal to 2. Means simply for strong electrolyte, the Vant factor is total number of total number of moles of ions produced by ionization of 1 mole of strong electrolyte. So for example, I for NaCl is equal to 2 because NaCl produce 2 mole of iron or 1, correct? And if we are talking about calcium chloride, and if I am assuming that calcium chloride is 100% ionized, so I can say calcium chloride would be ionized into Ca plus 2 plus 2Cl minus ion. So how many? There is 1 mole of calcium ion and 2 mole of chloride ion. So total ion are 3 mole. So we can say 1 mole of calcium chloride will be ionized into total 3 mole of ion. That's why Vant factor for calcium chloride is equal to 3. Suppose I am talking about aluminium sulfate, and aluminium sulfate is 100% ionized. Suppose I am talking about aluminium sulfate, and aluminium sulfate is 100% ionized, means I am assuming aluminium sulfate that is strong electrolyte. So for aluminium sulfate, Al2SO4 both sides is equal to Al plus 3 plus SO4 minus 2. How many sulfate ion would be produced? That is 3 mole. When we balance this equation, and aluminium, when we balance it, should be 2. So we can say 1 mole of aluminium sulfate will produce 2 mole of aluminium ion and 3 mole of sulfate ion after ionization. So total are 5 mole. So we can say if we are taking 1 mole of aluminium sulfate, it is producing 5 mole of total ion. That's why Vant factor of aluminium sulfate is equal to 5. Similarly, if I am talking about AlCl3, and if I am assuming that AlCl3 is 100% ionized, then how many moles of ions it would produce by 1 mole of aluminium chloride? That we can say it will be ionized into Al plus 3 plus 3 mole of Cl minus ion. So total ion produced by 1 mole of aluminium chloride are 1 mole of aluminium ion and 3 mole of chloride. That's why total moles are 4 mole. So it's 1 mole is giving 4 mole of ion. That's why Vant factor for aluminium trichloride is equal to 4. So simply we can say for strong electrolyte, the Vant factor is the total number of ions produced by 1 mole of that strong electrolytes. Here total mole of ion. But if we are talking about weak electrolyte, then what will happen? So Vant factor for weak electrolyte, Vant factor for weak electrolyte. How you can calculate I means Vant factor for weak electrolyte? Then we have to observe that what is the actual case. Actually, weak electrolyte can be ionized as well as some electrolyte in some solvent also dissociate as well as associate also. Suppose if I am talking about CH3CWH. Normally CH3CWH in water dissociate into CH3COO negative plus H positive. So here is a case of dissociation or ionization. Ionization we use in the case of strong electrolyte, and dissociation term we can use in the case of weak electrolyte. But in water, CH3COOH is always dissociate into 2 ions, CH3COO minus and H plus ion. But when we are taking the solvent as benzene, suppose CH3COOH in any organic solvent, CH3COOH in any organic solvent like in benzene or benzoic acid in benzene, correct? You can say benzoic acid, acetic acid in benzene, they dimerize. Dimerize means CH3, C double bond O, O negative, OH, and double bond O, C, OH CH3. It is called dimerization. Yeah. So by making hydrogen bond, 2 mole of CH3 COOH make one dimer. That is called dimer. So here is a case of association. That is called association. So we can say that acetic acid in benzene show association phenomena and acetic acid in water show dissociation phenomena. So we can say weak electrolyte, there may be two cases for weak electrolyte. One case is of dissociation and second one case is of association. One case is of dissociation and second one is the case of association. So suppose for dissociation, and there is another case, that is association case. So we have to observe first of all that weak electrolyte is dissociated or associated. So suppose it is dissociated, then we can calculate the bond factor by using the formula, very simple formula, I is equal to 1 plus n minus 1 into alpha. Now what is the alpha? Alpha is the degree of dissociation. Alpha, where alpha is degree of dissociation. Alpha is equal to degree of dissociation. How it can calculate? If percentage alpha or percentage dissociation is given, then what is the relation between percentage dissociation and degree of dissociation? So the relation is alpha into 100 is equal to percent alpha. Percent alpha means percent degree of dissociation. So suppose I am talking like any salt is 40% dissociated. 40% dissociated. So it means what is the alpha? Alpha is equal to 40 by 100. So that is equal to 0.4. So that is equal to 0.4. So we can say alpha is equal to 0.4. So if percent alpha or percent dissociation is given, then we can divide it by 100, then we can get alpha. Alpha means simply degree of dissociation. Clear? And what is the n here? N here is the total number of moles of iron produced by 1 mole of weak electrolyte after dissociation. Suppose I am talking about CH3COOH. We know that CH3COOH, when adding in water, then it will split into, or it will dissociate into CH3COO minus plus H plus. So total mole of iron are 2. So in the case of CH3COOH or in the case of benzoic acid, the value of N is equal to 2. Suppose I am talking that AlCl3, aluminium trichloride, I am adding in a solvent where it is behaving like as a weak electrolyte. Then for aluminium chloride, AlCl3, if it is behaving like a weak electrolyte, suppose it is behaving like as a weak, then it will be ionized into Al plus 3 plus 3Cl minus. So total mole of iron which are produced by 1 mole of AlCl3, that is 4. So obviously N of aluminium chloride is 4 if aluminium chloride is behaving like as a weak electrolyte. So simply we can say the Vant factor of strong electrolyte become N when that strong electrolyte is behaving like as a weak electrolyte. जब आपका जो strong electrolyte है वो कभी मान लीजिए weak electrolyte की तरह behave करता है, तो जो weak electrolyte होगा उसका जो N होगा वो वही होगा जो उस strong electrolyte का Vant factor था. फॉर एग्जाम्पल CH3COOH की बात करते हैं तो CH3COOH कितने में आयनाइज होता है? 2 आयंस में आयनाइज होता है. तो हम लोग कहेंगे यहाँ पे CH3COOH किसकी तरह बिहेव कर रहा है? वो वीक की तरह बिहेव कर रहा है. दैट्स व्हाई CH3COOH के जो 2 वैल्यू आएगी वो Vant फैक्टर नहीं होगा, वो उसका N होगा एंड अल्फा हमें गिवन होगा और अल्फा N को यूज करके हम लोग इस फॉर्मूले से उसका Vant फैक्टर कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं. तो सिंपली हम लोग Vant फैक्टर वीक इलेक्ट्रोलाइट का कैलकुलेट करना और डिसोसिएशन केस case, then we can use that formula. For example, if question is like that, CH3 COOH is 30% dissociated. 30% dissociated. 30% dissociated. Find out want of factor. Want of factor of CH3 COOH. So we can observe that it is a dissociation case, and dissociation case we put the formula I is equal to 1 plus n minus 1 into alpha. So I is equal to 1 plus n. What is the value of n? Here value of n is equal to 2 because it would be dissociated into 2 ions. So that is 2 minus 1 into, what is the alpha? Alpha means 30 divided by 100 means 0.3. So when we calculate it, our answer would be 1 plus 2 minus 1, that is equal to 1. 1 into 0.3, that is 0.3. So 0.3 plus 1, that is equal to 1.3. So in this case, CH3 COOH want of factor is 1.3. Clear? Good. Now let's take the example of association case. As I have discussed earlier that when we put carboxylic acid, benzoic acid, acetic acid in benzene or any other solvent, then they will not dissociate, they will associate and they will form dimer. Or there are another solute also that showed association case. These solutes can form trimer, tetramer, hexamer, anything. Clear? So suppose we have a case of association. अगर हमारे पास कोई association का केस आ जाता है, लाइक बेंजोइक एसिड है, उसको बेंजीन में ऐड कर दिया गया, तो वहां पे वो डिसोसिएशन नहीं होगा, वहां पे वो डाइमर बनाएगा और एसोसिएशन का केस होगा. तब हम लोग I कैसे कैलकुलेट करेंगे? Then we can calculate I is equal to 1 plus 1 by n minus 1 into beta. Now what is the beta? Beta is equal to degree of association. It can be calculated from percent association simply as we have already calculated the alpha, degree of dissociation. जैसे आप डिग्री ऑफ डिसोसिएशन अभी अल्फा कैलकुलेट कर रहे हो परसेंट अल्फा से डिवाइड बाय 100 करके, वैसे ही अगर आपको परसेंट एसोसिएशन गिवन हो तो परसेंट एसोसिएशन को डिवाइड बाय 100 कीजिए, आपके पास बीटा की वैल्यू आ जाएगा. नाउ व्हाट इज द एन? एन इज इक्वल टू, अगर डाइमर होता है फॉर डाइमर एन इज इक्वल टू 2, फॉर ट्राइमर एन इज इक्वल टू 3, फॉर हेक्सामर n is equal to 6. Means how many molecules of a substance form that one molecule. कितने मॉलिक्यूल आपके जो सब्सटेंस के वो मिलकर एक मॉलिक्यूल बना रहे हैं, वो वैल्यू जो होती है वो क्या होता है? n होता है. जैसे दो बेंजोइक एसिड मिलकर एक आपका डाइमर बना रहे हैं, डाइमर बन रहा है, डाइमर मतलब दो, तो वहां पे ऑब्वियसली n की वैल्यू क्या होगी? 2. अगर कोई कहता है कोई सोल्यूट है वो अंदर जाकर सोलवेंट में जाकर ट्राइमर बना रहा है, तो वहां पे n की वैल्यू 3 रख दीजिए. अगर कोई क्वेश्चन में आता है कि कोई सोल्यूट ऐसा है जिसको किसी सोलवेंट में ऐड किया गया, वो जहाँ पे टेट्रामर बना रहा है, तो टेट्रा मतलब 4 मॉलिक्यूल मिलकर एक बना रहे हैं, तो वहां पे n की वैल्यू क्या रख दीजिए? आप 4 रख दीजिए. सो वी कैन डिसाइड एंड अकॉर्डिंगली दैट एसोसिएशन को क्या बना रहा है उसके अकॉर्डिंग हम लोग n की वैल्यू कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं और I जो है हम लोग वहां पे कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं. हम लोग एक क्वेश्चन करते हैं. देखिए सपोज benzoic acid in benzene 40% associated and form dimer calculate want of factor means we have to calculate. So first of all we have to observe that is the case of association. ये जो केस है वो एसोसिएशन का है, तो हम लोग ये फॉर्मूला फॉर्मूला लगाएंगे, डिसोसिएशन वाला फॉर्मूला नहीं लगाएंगे। क्लियर? तो देखिए यहां पे हम लोग वैल्यूज को पुट करते हैं। व्हेन वी पुट द वैल्यू i इज इक्वल टू 1 प्लस 1 बाई, अब डाइमर बना रहे हैं, डाइमर, तो जब डाइमर बनाएगा तो n की वैल्यू 2 हो जाएगी, माइनस 1 इंटू बीटा। नाउ व्हाट विल बी द बीटा? आई एम आस्किंग अबाउट दैट। बीटा जो होगा वो क्या होगा? परसेंट एसोसिएशन डिवाइड बाई 100 कर दो, तो 40 डिवाइड बाई 100 करेंगे तो आ जाएगा हमारे पास 40 डिवाइड बाई 100 कर दिया तो हमारे पास आ जाएगा आंसर 0.4। सो दैट इज द बीटा। तो मल्टीप्लाइड बाई 0.4। तो इसे जब हम लोग सॉल्व करेंगे देन वी विल गेट आवर आंसर 1 प्लस 1 बाई 2 माइनस 1, 1 बाई 2 माइनस 1। सो आवर आंसर इज माइनस 1 बाई 2। सो 1 प्लस माइनस 1 बाई 2 इंटू 0.4। इसे जब हम लोग आगे फर्दर सोल्व करेंगे देन वी विल गेट आवर आई वांट ऑफ फैक्टर। सो सिंपली आई एम समराइजिंग व्हाट आई हैव डिस्कस्ड दैट फॉर स्ट्रॉन्ग इलेक्ट्रोलाइट may be of 3 types, electrolyte may be of 2 types, like electrolyte may be of 2 types, strong or weak. For strong electrolyte, we directly calculate I water factor by the number of ions which is produced by this ionization of 1 mole of that electrolyte. आप डायरेक्टली कैलकुलेट कर लेते हो कितने में आयोनाइज हो रहा है। फॉर एग्जांपल NaCl2 में आयोनाइज हो रहा है तो NaCl के लिए I2 हो जाएगा। अगर CaCl2 है वो 3 में आयोनाइज हो रहा है क्योंकि 1 कैल्शियम बनेगा, 2 Cl बनेगा, तो वहां पे I कितना हो जाएगा? 3 हो जाएगा। फिर आपका Fe2SO4 होल थ्राइस होगा तो Fe2SO4 होल थ्राइस, 3 तो सल्फेट बनेंगे और 2 क्या बनेंगे? Fe आयन बनेंगे। तो 3 + 2 5, तो उसके लिए I क्या हो जाएगा? 5 हो जाएगा। इफ दे आर बिहेविंग लाइक एज अ स्ट्रॉन्ग इलेक्ट्रोलाइट, 100% आयोनाइज हो रहे तब। एंड वीक इलेक्ट्रोलाइट के लिए क्या है? वीक इलेक्ट्रोलाइट के लिए 2 केस हैं आपके पास। एक केस जो होता है जिसके अंदर वो डिसोसिएशन करता है, ऑब्वियसली क्वेश्चन में गिवन होगा, डिग्री ऑफ डिसोसिएशन वर्ड लिखा हुआ होगा, डिग्री ऑफ एसोसिएशन वर्ड लिखा हुआ, उससे आप समझ जाओगे। या जो दूसरा होता है जिसे हम लोग कहते हैं एसोसिएशन होता है, वहां से भी आप समझ जाओगे, डिग्री ऑफ एसोसिएशन कुछ लिखा हुआ मिल जाएगा आप लोगों को। सो डिसोसिएशन का अगर केस है तो डिसोसिएशन के केस में क्या होगा? I इज इक्वल टू 1 प्लस n माइनस 1 इंटू एल्फा। एसोसिएशन के केस में I इज इक्वल टू 1 प्लस 1 बाई n माइनस 1 इंटू बीटा। ये 2 फॉर्मूलाज हम लोग यूज करते हैं वीक इलेक्ट्रोलाइट के, एंड वी कैन वेरी सिंपली कैलकुलेट वांट ऑफ फैक्टर इन न्यूमेरिकल सेक्शन। थैंक यू।